when I do a search, when I do enter a query, this is my query, which is there in my head. I want to buy an iPhone 6. I turn my query into words and I enter that word, that query into Google search box, which I type in by iPhone 6. I press enter. When I press enter in onto search engine, it improves the ranking of website. We'll come on to that sort of for sure. When I enter this word, when I enter this word by iPhone 6, which is a query in internet marketing language, this is called a keyword, guys. This is called a keyword. When the keyword is being pressed, all these search results are come in, right? This is actually a paid search result and this is a non-paid search result, which we'll cover in detail with this, which is also part of the overall digital marketing. I'll explain that to you, and some of you know that. I believe Aman, Dhruv, you guys are aware of the, and Saurabh, are you aware of the this PPC ads, these Google search ads, and these listings are through the organic listings. So Dhruv, you're clear on that. Saurabh, are you aware of this? Just wanted to make sure that everybody is on the same page. Shefali says yes. Yeah, okay. Aman says yes. Yeah, the Dhruv says organic one. Yeah. So, Saurabh, it's like, you have different search listings. Whenever, let's say my website is Apple, I want my website Apple to be up for this particular keyword. Why would I need my website to be on the top? I would want my website to be on the top so that people can click on it in then and there. Higher my website listing is there, better chances are that I'm going to get maximum clicks. Let's say 100 people are typing in this keyword on daily basis. Out of 100, probably this one very first search result will get 90 to 95 clicks. Maximum eyeballs would be there. Absolutely, Shefali. Right. So these are the paid listings. You actually pay Google with the help of a tool called Google AdWords to get your website up on the top. Whereas, so the first, second, or the third are the paid listings. I'll teach you that. That's one of the part of the overall course, which is called PPC advertising with Google and optimization. This is called pay per click. We'll cover this part, which is pay per click PPC advertising. Okay. The next thing is search engine optimization. Like I said, these are the search engine optimization results. Since they don't carry that tag of advertisement, these are advertisements only, but these are not ads. You have to do a lot of hard work to get your website on the top. So Snapdeal has done a lot of search engine optimization, which we'll study in detail how to do that. So search engine optimization is done for these websites by the Apple site, Amazon, Snapdeal to get to be on the top for this particular keyword. Make sense, guys? And these three ones are the paid ones, which is done through Google AdWords. Are we any doubts, any queries? Please ask me. Saurabh, are you clear on that? Saurabh, Shefali, Dhruv, Pooja, Aman, each one of you. Right. So I'm not too sure, Pooja. What are you asking me? You can't really hear us also. All clear. Great. So Saurabh, are you clear on that part? Any questions? The basic stuff, basic difference in terms of the search listings. These are certain search listings for a keyword, and these are certain search listings. Saurabh, clear on that part? Okay. Probably Saurabh is not listening to me. Uh, then we're going to be covering Google Analytics. Anybody who has heard of Google Analytics, I know Aman does have. Dhruv, Saurabh, heard of the Google Analytics stuff? Okay. Saurabh, no, no problem. So, Saurabh, you've not heard of Google Analytics, or was that a no for the question I asked you, whether things are clear on this part? The paid and the non-paid search results are clear to you, Saurabh? Yes, okay. So when I say Google Analytics is another product which Google owns. So Google has different products. Like Google has Maps, Google has another products like Google Translate, Google Search Engine. Can you guys help me to know more other products which Google offers you? Google Drive, absolutely right. What else? Aman says Google Drive. Can you name any other products? So Google has a lot many Google AdWords, absolutely. So in a similar fashion, Google AdWords is so YouTube also. So AdSense, absolutely, Saurabh. So Google Analytics is one of the tool, one of the product which Google owns, and this is only used by advertisers. When I say advertisers, in this particular example which we have taken, Apple is an advertiser because Apple is giving in advertisements, right? This is a text ad, search text ad. That advertisement is being placed by Apple over here with the objective of getting maximum clicks resulting into traffic onto their site, and that traffic resulting into a sale. Not every click results into a sale, guys. It's as simple as that in a mall, if 1,000 people enter into a mall in 1 hour's time, not every person of out of that 1,000 lot will buy in something or the other. There can be window shoppers also, right? In a similar fashion, I go onto the site, I don't go ahead and buy stuff. I can be a window shopper. I click onto the to that ad, and once I click onto the ad, I I land onto the website, the landing page that is called landing page when I click onto it, and so right, so that's what what Google Analytics tells you. Google Analytics tells you a lot of insights into your website's traffic. If my website is apple.com, I want to check where is my website traffic coming from. When I say web, where is, let's say, from a geographic sense, is my traffic coming maximum from Ludhiana or from Ahmedabad or from Chandigarh or from Chennai or from Bangalore? I can get to know which website, which particular location I'm getting maximum traffic from. All those details I can get with the help of Google Analytics. So I'll teach you that, Saurabh. Just in short, Google Analytics is all about knowing the traffic which is coming onto your site, right? So from which place are they coming? How many people are coming onto your site? So Saurabh, you're not clear on phone how to join in laptop. Click on the same. So it's not that well, internet is working fine at my end, Saurabh. You just need to click on the same link when you are on the laptop. I always recommend logging in with the help of a laptop, Saurabh. So Google Analytics is all about that. When I talk about social media marketing, what do we understand by that? Which all websites are part of social media? Can you guys tell me? Facebook, yep. Which others? Pinterest, Tumblr, right? Absolutely. You guys have said that right. Most of these sites, Twitter, right? G plus, all these sites are there. They are present. They're called as social media sites. Why do we call these sites as social media? Why are they called social media? This is a media channel, but why is it social? What do we understand by the word social in nature? LinkedIn interaction sites, absolutely. So we can interact with various friends or colleagues, people who are connected to us, right? So that's why they're called social media sites. We'll be studying how do brands. So we'll study in the social media aspect how do brands use social media channels in order to get maximum traffic onto their site. It's not only with the help of SEO or with Google advertisements that you get maximum traffic, but a lot of leverage is being done with the help of social media marketing, right? Yeah. So Dhruv, you said that right, because we connect with social friends. That's the reason why it's called social media sites. So, welcome, Amber. You have recently joined in. We were just talking about the stuff we'll be covering in the entire course. So, digital marketing, website planning and creation, search engine optimization, PPC advertising, which has a maximum weightage of the entire course. Because with digital marketing, SEO and PPC advertising, Google advertisement is a bigger stuff. Then we spoke about Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a product where we get to know about the traffic. So how do we implement? What all things should we see? Then social media marketing, like I said, we do have a lot of social media sites like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We'll be covering all that. How do we optimize, all these channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, in order to get maximum traffic for our websites. Do you guys have your own websites for which you can do this practice stuff? I know Amber has his own website. Dhruv, Dhruv, you have your own website. That's great. Uh, Others, so Aman, you have. No problem, Dhruv. Even if you have that, I can give you a free website too, so in case you want that. Okay, Shifali, I can give you a website too in case you don't have a website. Right. So just let me know. I'll give you the website. Next thing is an email. Is The next module is going to be about email marketing. Do you guys get emails in terms of websites trying to sell you across something or trying to tell you about something or the other? In your inbox, whatever emails IDs you use, whether it's Gmail, Yahoo, or what, a lot you say. Amber says yes, right. Dhruv says yes. Shefali says a lot, right. What are these emailers focused towards? Do you know there is a science behind creating this emailers? you know uh, People talk about this color to be used, that color to be used, this color not to be used, that color not to be used. This proportion of pictures needs to be there within the email marketing platform, within the emailers. I'll teach you how do you create those emailers. Let's say you have a website. I'll tell you about the latest industry driven tools. There are certain tools which you take help in terms of sending out emailers. If you want to send emails to, let's say, 2000 people in one go, you can use those tools. So I'll tell you how to create those leads, upload your contacts, create an email, the right way of creating that emailer copy, which will go to each one of the contact you would like to send across to, and on what day. Absolutely. So Mailchimp is one of them, and I'm going to cover Mailchimp for sure, Dhruv. So do you know the what day or what time is the right time for doing email marketing? Any guesses you want to make? Is it a weekday or a weekend when you guys get maximum emailers? Any idea on that? So when you say no, okay, no problem, no, okay. So just this is also, if let's say every other day, okay, but not every other day. I know it's the right thing to say every other day, but still there are certain studies which have been done in terms of when does email marketing works the best. Is it on a Saturday or on a Sunday or on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Which day works the best? So I'll tell you all that. Which time is it? The weekends, weekdays? I've been getting different reactions. So let me tell you in short, majorly weekdays, because most of the sales, if you talk about all the e-commerce sites, they get maximum sales on weekdays, and emailers are also short on those days. When people are there in their office, then is the time they think of buying in something from the websites, right? If you look, maximum internet usage is also done on weekdays. And even if I talk about just the timing within those weekdays, uh, m- any idea? Is it the morning hours or the afternoon hours or the evening hours? What do you think? In which hours maximum sales happen? 9 to 5, says Shefali. Uh-huh. So if I talk about morning, evening, or afternoon, okay, morning says Dhruv. Any logic behind that? Amber, any idea? Office hours, right? But within office hours, there's a huge time slot. Major sales happen between the lunch hours, 1 to 4 kind of a thing. People generally, so at this time of hour, Flipkart, Snapdeal, they get their maximum orders. I mean, for whichever e-commerce sites. So if you guys have an e-commerce site, you can try all these techniques. So let's say Amber, you have your site where you're focusing for a good amount of traffic, then you can go with such kind of fundas to be used for email marketing. And last thing is going to be lead generation. What do we understand by lead, guys? Any idea? So you guys are learning internet marketing. With when I say internet marketing, anything to do with marketing across on the internet. When we are trying to market across stuff on the internet, we generate leads, generating interest. Customer conversation, says Dhruv. Shefali says generating interest, right? So let's say if I run a campaign for digital marketing Pathshala, and you guys see a banner somewhere. When you click on that, you probably might land onto my web page where you will be asked to submit your contact details. When you will submit your contact details, you might get anything interesting. Let's say you'll get the course curriculum, you'll get an ebook, or you'll get some document which is a valuable document, or you'll get some white paper. White paper is another kind of what do you say, of written content like ebook only, or you might get a discount coupon or a voucher code. When you get to know that you are going to get a voucher code, you all of a sudden go and just submit your details. What is it taking? Nothing. You just have to share your contact details. But on the other hand, the advertiser is generating a lead. Your name, your email address, and your phone number, whatever contact details have been captured, is a lead for that advertiser. We'll cover that part. How do we, generate leads for our business, and how do we go about creating those landing pages? Any idea what do we understand by a landing page? What is a landing page? So when we click on ads, where we land on the website, absolutely. So that's right. So this is like if I have, let's say I go back to Google and type in by iPhone 6. The same thing, I type in a query, that query is also called a keyword. When I click on this ad, the page which opens up is a landing page, guys. The way we are landing. This is a landing page. This is not the home page, right? Home page would have been apple.com, but this is actually an internal page. There are plenty of other pages in your website. Your website is made up of a lot of web pages, right? So any one of those page where you land is your landing page. So we'll cover that part. So since it's the beginning, the very first session, I'll be keeping it way too simple for each one of you, just letting you know what all things are there in digital marketing. So we'll have, theory practicals. I'll be giving you assignments and case studies. And once, all these evaluations are being done, then I'll be rewarding you with a Google AdWords certificate and a digital marketing certificate by DMP. So the Google AdWords certificate is directly from Google itself, right? So let's talk about digital marketing overview. Today we're going to be covering way too simple stuff. It should be easy to understand. I'll just open my, and I'll share all the presentations with you as well in your emails. Right, so we were discussing about what exactly we mean by digital marketing or marketing. It's process of building and maintaining customer relationship. Today it's going to be a bit of theoretical, but more or less 80% of the course is practical, guys. Today it's more of a theoretical stuff since it's the very first session. So digital marketing is a process of building and maintaining customer relationship. You are actually doing marketing for getting customers, for meeting them, and then for also, building those relationships. And the idea is to facilitate the exchange of ideas, product, service, and and the idea is to satisfy the goals of both the parties. So when I say both the parties, it means the user who's looking in for products and the advertiser who's selling on those products, right? So it's in plain English, it's all about getting found online. You have a product, your product should be found easily by your prospective customer. If your prospective customer can find you easily, then you are doing a good job in terms of digital marketing. So why are people going on online? We all know that it's for you know uh, finding out jobs, for finding out new employees if you are a business, or if you have any questions, you have finding information what product or a service do you want to buy in, or if you're looking for any seeking for any sort of a help for fun, entertainment, general information, for making contacts, for finding jobs, for finding employees. That's the reason why you guys are going online, right? You're using internet for movies, for music, for playing games, for social networking, chit chatting, for communication over the email. So at all these platforms, if you tap in your audience within their email box, you're sending emails only to those people whom you want to see your ads. If you're showcasing your ads only to those people who would be interested in your ad. Let's say I have a product which is purely women centric. I have a product which is, let's say, a sari, and I say that those sarees are bridal sarees, and I want to share that across. So I was actually giving this example for one of my another participants in my different session today. Those bridal sarees, I want them to be shown across to only those people, only those ladies who are going to get married, right? So how do I identify where can I find these ladies who are just about to get married? It's a difficult task, but that's what we'll understand in the entire process. In the idea is that my marketing budget should focus only to reach out to those uh, ladies who are getting married. I don't want my advertisement, I don't want my product to be visible to each and every one. It doesn't make any sense. Absolutely, matrimonial site also, but in on matrimonial sites, Shifali, we have men also being part of that. So I'm gonna waste money on that. How do I dissect that my products only get visible to the women out there, not to the men who are getting married? Won't make sense much for me. It might help me get conversions, but not to that level. It's all about getting ROI, guys, return on investment of my marketing budget, right? So the web is crowded with information, and if you have a website and people can reach you, right people can reach you with your specific limited budget. It's all about using your limited budget and reaching out to your audience. Had you been a rich kind of a person who has a huge marketing budget, who can afford to lose out on money, then definitely you don't need a digital marketer. Then you can straight away go ahead and shoot in the dark. But it's not about shooting in the dark. It's all about shooting the bullseye, right? You need to know where's the bullseye, and you need to focus on that, right? So, like I said, it's all about shooting in the bullseye. I mean, shooting in the center, not shooting in the dark. So, what are the benefits of digital marketing? It puts the customer in control, provides convenience, increases satisfaction, brand loyalty, reduces the selling cycle, cost of sales. With all the internet stuff, the cost of sales and all that stuff has gone down further. It helps in building your brands, targeted results. And the best part, I like these two ones. I like these 2 points, the ones with star, which are over traditional marketing. It's measurable. Internet marketing is measurable, whereas the other stuff, if you, let's say, run an advertisement on television, it's way too difficult to evaluate how much sales or leads or how much conversions you got out of a television commercial. Whereas where in a case where you're running an ad on various websites, you can evaluate that you have spent 10,000 rupees, and out of 10,000 you got 5 orders, and those 5 orders have been for X amount, and out of those X amount, this was the Y was your overall profit. You can evaluate for 10,000 rupees, did you get something on the top of that or not? Was there any return out of it? If you have earned 20,000 profit by spending in 10,000 rupees, it makes sense. It tells you that by spending 10,000, you're getting a overall benefit of 20,000 rupees. Makes sense. If you have got a benefit of 10 rupees by spending 10,000, you're not in a good position. Or maybe you've got 1,000 rupees, you're not in a good position. It's cost effective, it's targeted. That's the best part about digital marketing. Right. I know. Yeah, Amber. Okay. Great. Thanks. So various components of digital marketing is that you need to have a good website design. If you guys have your own website and you can design it good enough, otherwise somewhere or the other you need help of a designer. Why do we focus so much on user experience? Responsive and simple, absolutely, Amber. You need to be. I'll tell you what do we understand by responsive. We focus a lot on the user experience. Let's take an example, guys. If you enter into a big bazaar showroom, let's say, or a Walmart or whatever, a big bazaar showroom, and you find that it's, your experience isn't good. You find, salespeople not around, nobody's there to help you, the products are haywire, you're trying to look for a toothbrush or a toothpaste, you have searched some everywhere, but things are messed up, one product is lying over the other. Would you like to come in again? Was that a good experience for you? I'm talking in terms of no, right? No, says Amber. Can I get answers from others? Aman, Shefali, Dhruv. No, absolutely no, says no. In a similar sense, if your website is not, appearing good, it is not going to help you. So from both the perspective, whether from digital, from an SEO, the search engine will never like it, and even the end customer will not like it. First of all, your shop, your place where you're going to showcase your product has to be good. Then the other key components of digital marketing, which I have already spoken about, search engine optimization, pay per click, which most of you quite understand now. We'll cover all that in detail. These are all components, right? Online reputation management, display banners. We'll be covering all that. So the idea behind doing, the objectives. If I talk about the digital marketing objectives, is first is to reach the target audience. Already spoken about that. Engage the audience. That's very important. If you're not engaging your audience, you're not speaking to them, you're not contacting them, they're not asking you questions and you're not replying to them, then sale will never happen. Many people buy in stuff only after engagement, and it happens with us also. If I'm trying to buy in a certain product, I have to buy a phone, I will ask the sales guy 10 different questions. After evaluating, then only I'll make a decision which one to buy, whether to buy an iPhone 6 or an Samsung S6 Edge. I'll check the features for both of them. I'll check the overall benefits for both of them, and then make a decision. Next thing is to, the objective for digital marketing is to motivate your audience to take action. If I give you a motivation today, you are entering into a big bazaar store and I am the sales guy over there. I give you a motivation that if you buy stuff more than 5,000 rupees, I'll give you 10 to, sorry, 15% discount, a good lucrative offer. So let's say your billing was close to, so, through blogs and forums, a customer gets engaged, Shefali. There are people who keeps asking question, you know, even on your websites. Don't you do that over Facebook? On social media sites, people do that. They go onto Facebook on brands page. They ask which one. So does this phone has these kind of features? Does that phone has that kind of feature? And people, the brand owners reply to that. This happens in the real world in today's scenario. If I have to buy a car, or if I have to buy a particular phone, I go onto their product, Facebook page, or to their or to certain forums where all those conversations happen, right? So they over there the engagement happen. Absolutely, answering to questions is engaging. Yeah, this is called engagement. People are talking to each other, you are answering to them questions, and you also tend to let's say you are running a particular contest. That's also engagement. So answering to questions is engagement. Another example is like you're running a contest. You run a contest, whosoever, you know what do you say, let's say this was this campaign which was being run by Pepsi earlier on, that whosoever shoots a good video ad for us, and upload it on YouTube or any other channel, uh, would actually receive such and such kind of thing from us. Maybe a ticket to Melbourne for watching World Cup that was there within in this World Cup which we had this year. So that was also about an engagement stuff. You were engaging your audience. You were asking your audience to create stuff for them, to create pictures, shoot a video, and all that. So that's more of an engagement. So you motivate your audience. You motivate your audience by doing all those things again. You provide them an offer. Let's say the billing was 4,000. You are asking your audience to just spend, buy stuff for 1,000 rupees more, and you'll get a 15% discount. You are encouraging, you are motivating your audience to buy stuff more from you. Efficient spending on your campaign. Does that answer your question, Shefali, about the engagement part? So running contests and answering questions are some examples for your making your audience engaging your audience. Does that answer? Okay, yet to receive an answer reply from Shefali. So the overall other objectives are to spend efficient spending on your campaign. Giving an example, if I guys, if I give you just 10,000 rupees and tell you within those 10,000 rupees, you have to get 50 leads. If you don't have knowledge about digital marketing, do you think you can spend those 10,000 rupees effectively and efficiently and get 50 leads? Probably you might end up, if you don't have knowledge. Yeah, Dhruv says no. If you don't have knowledge, probably you would burn up those 10,000 rupees here and there, and not even a single lead would come in. And if you are an expert, maybe you would spend those 10,000 rupees on the right places and would come up with 60 leads. You know, does it make sense? Amber, Shefali, Aman, make sense, guys? Efficient spending on your campaign. Uh, so Amber says no. No was the answer to the previous question, or that this one. Any doubts? So you get a return on investment. Do keep on asking me whatever doubts or queries you have. I'll be happy to take them. Right? Okay, great, Amber. So digital marketing is all about branding, generating sales, capturing leads from customers, and capturing leads from all those customers who are trying to look for the products, or who are doing some sort of search on the internet for finding out answers. So just to give you an example, digital marketing revolves around all these things. So it making use of electronic devices via channels such as computers, tablets, smartphones. So you do, create videos, you upload them on video sharing sites, you have websites, you use them, you use social media sites. So with videos, you are also, getting in touch with your potential audience, who can be your customers, are getting in touch with you with the help of videos. Similarly, with the help of your website, you are getting in touch with your potential audience. With the help of social media, emails, games, instant messaging like Google Talk and all, SEO, SEM I've spoken about. There are certain viral elements which does incorporate a lot of video part, podcast, mobile phone, banners. Any idea, guys? Does anybody know about what podcast stands for? What do we mean by podcast? If you don't know, let me know, yes or a no, so that I can explain you in case you are not sure of podcast. Dhruv says no, no problem. I'll answer that. Amber, are you aware of podcast? Shefali says yes. Aman, are you aware of podcast? Amber is aware. Okay. So these are Dhruv. These are mostly what do you say? Audio files. Okay. Aman says no, no problem. These are audio files. Audio files, like let's suppose I'm delivering a lecture right now and I'm recording right now. So once I will be done with this, I'll where we can't see absolutely. So if I audio, video, radio, etc. Amber, podcast is majorly the audio, not the video. So you can run it on the uh, not the PDF. Uh, Amber, these are just the audio files. It's just like listening to a song. So you have a song in your iPod where you can just listen and you can't see, right? You can't see any motion picture being there. So if I am delivering this lecture, like I was giving you an example, I record this session and this session gets uploaded onto YouTube, but you will see the overall screen as well. You will see the screen and hear my voice. But what if I don't make you see the screen, I just make you hear my voice? And you can listen to it in your iPod or in any other audio file. That audio file is just called a podcast. Makes sense? Amber, makes sense? Dhruv, Aman, cool. So Amber, a new learning for you. That's great. So types of digital marketing: a push or a pull. Any example, guys? Do you want to give me for a push or a pull? What all things are part of push marketing? Do you guys get the uh, okay, I don't want to say that. I want to ask you, have you guys seen push marketing being done and you are being targeted for that? Are you being targeted for any of your any of the push marketing from any brands? If yes, give me an example. Give me an example, Dhruv, Aman, Amber, Shefali. What examples would you take in a push or a pull marketing? So WhatsApp for push. Yeah. Social media. So let's say a push is an for just to give you an example. Do you guys get SMS on your mobile phones with a lot of spam in being there? When I say spam, you have not given permission to anyone for sending across SMS to you. Yes, email and SMS. Yeah, that is a push marketing. Majorly with SMS and emails where you have not subscribed to any of those websites, but you're not aware which websites are sending across SMS to you and emails to you. That's a push. Most of the push marketing doesn't work. The content marketing through which you're telling me, that's more of what do you say pull marketing, where the uh, the just a sec, where the permission is being taken. When someone takes yeah, whenever there is a disturbance where people are sending you across messages without taking permission, that's push. Where people are uh, sending you SMS or emails or whatever not things by taking permission from you, that's more of a pull marketing. Things like Google AdWords or search engine optimization, which I've already told you, they all, and even the banner ads, they all are part of pull marketing. And pull marketing works the best, guys. That gives you maximum conversions. You know, here these guys, Snapdeals are not forcing you to press, they're not getting into your email boxes without your permission. They're over here because you have searched in something. Excuse me. So more of SEO, SEM, mostly digital marketing activities which we'll be doing are going to be pull marketing, guys. I won't be teaching you any of the push marketings because these push marketing stuff are some way or the other illegal also. You know, if you're doing SMS and all that without taking someone's permission, you're spamming in someone. It's not the right way to do. You're infringing upon some of the anti-spam laws. Had you been in North America or any other Western countries and you have tried to push across those SMS or emails, you can be behind the bars. When I say behind the bars, you can be in the jail, but not in India, right? So why digital marketing? Since India's internet audience is increasing day after day after day. In March 2002, it was 17.6 million, and after year, it's increasing at a pace of 31%. So, just some facts to share. The population of internet users is increasing at its third at present. So today's consumer is spending a lot of time on social networks. Today's customer is impatient. They want things to be done like this within a fraction of second. They're impatient. They can't wait for tons and tons of seconds. They want everything to be done in a fraction of second. They are more vocal. When I say more vocal, they are ready to say and express their needs, interest, and express in you know, their reviews about a particular product. If they have not liked about something, they'll go ahead and post across over the internet. So, in order to please your consumer, you have to do all those digital marketing in the right sense. More clutter and information. So, there is a lot of information available on the internet. That's what today's consumer is looking for. So, now what do we do in terms of digital marketing? 4 out of 10 people are using social media these days. 5 out of 10 are using social media and turning back to search. So they're using social media and then they're going on to the search engine for finding on more information. And 7 out of 10 people are, using search. Then they are using social media to make them more confident in terms of decision they have made. So mix an overall mix of social media and search. So I don't think there would be anyone, at least in metros, who's not using internet at present in India. With this digital India thing coming up, it's going to increase like leaps and bounds, right? So just a sec. So how to win in this new paradigm? Just be visible, relevant, congruent, and be searchable. So when I say we'll study all that. This is all theoretical stuff, guys. Very first session. From next session, we'll have theoretical stuff. We'll be starting from Google AdWords. I'll teach you how to run that. How to get your advertisements up on the top, like the ones we have right now over here. How to form these ads, how to write these advertisements, what are the right ways, how to get these links up here, and what all to do in order to be on the top in place of being on the bottom. What all it takes to have a ad on the top and not on the third or the second position. We'll cover that. That was about digital marketing, guys. The very first one. I hope it was an value add on to your overall knowledge. I know it was more of a basic thing, but hope it did give you some sort of education, some value add on. Did it? Okay, thanks, Amber. Okay. Okay, you wrote that earlier. Okay, thanks, Shefali. Right. So, types of websites. What do we understand by types of websites? Can anybody tell me what all different kind of sites have you been part of, you have visited? We have spoken a bit about why do we need websites. Now, when we have spoken about why do we need websites, we also spoke about a kind of a website, couple of type of websites, classified sites we have spoken about, and the e-commerce sites. What other kind of sites can you look at? Personal blog, forum, absolutely right. What others? Event niche sites, absolutely. Right. Anybody else? PR sites, absolutely. Right. So I'll tell you more about different kind of sites which are there. If I classified types of sites, excuse me, excuse me. There, I can classify them under two different heads, all the websites, based on the functionality and based on the purpose. So when I say functionality, what all functions a particular website does, and when I say about the purpose, the business purpose which they are serving, the websites, what sort of business purpose are they serving? Based on functionality, th- this is an old school thing. We had static websites. We had these websites like long way back, I would say 10, 12 years back, very simple sites made up on HTML and no unique content being there, smaller in size, very few web pages being right up there. So static websites, I probably, let's see if these things, this example would work. I wish I can show you certain websites which are static. So if I'm trying to open this site, static means absolutely that doesn't change quite a lot. Uh, you know, Once you have set that website, it remains there for long, just like that. Nobody's bothered about changing those sites again and again, and they're pretty easy to make, very simple. So, okay, now this site, which I was taking an example, has become more of it has. They have changed themselves quite a lot. Yeah, the data remains same. Very old school kind of site. So static websites are like this. The information doesn't change over time. Keeps the information remains over there for long. Very easy to develop. Can be created in no time, like I said, and uses HTML and CSS. If in case you guys is no problem, Amber. In case you guys have don't have knowledge about what do you say HTML and CSS, what exactly it means, just ignore this part. These are certain coding languages, okay, uh, which are used in order to make a site. Dynamic site, just to give you an example, let's say this is one of the site which one of the institution owns. It keeps changing the now and then they keep changing the banners, maybe something like a NDTV site or a news channel site. Every now and then they keep changing their website stuff. Even the e-commerce sites are dynamic sites. They keep having new products day in and day out. Now NDTV is presenting this particular uh, news at this hour. Maybe after a couple of hours there would be something new. All the pictures would get freshened up, new information every time. Absolutely, these are dynamic sites, right? So the content is dynamic, which is information does change over time. It takes longer to develop. It requires a lot of coding at the back end and uses various languages like PHP, ASP.NET, and scripts and all that, right? So someone spoke about the responsive sites over here. It was Amber. So what do we understand by a responsive site, guys? Anybody? Dhruv? Any idea? Aman? Shifali? What do we understand by this? Is very much clearly showcased with this particular image. This site is a responsive site is the one which opens up easily. It resizes easily as per the device. Let's say if I have a website and if it opens up, it's adaptable to various devices. Absolutely right. Aman, Shefali also says that right, that it's just according to all devices. Dhruv, makes sense. Responsive sites, I guess you are known to that part. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. So so in terms of the functionality, responsive websites are there based on the purpose. There are various other sites like personal websites, informative websites, business websites, e-commerce, and social networking. I guess you guys are clear on the e-commerce part because we have already spoken about that. E-commerce sites are all those sites where a money transaction is involved. Any site where money transaction electronic is involved is an e-commerce site. Now you guys know social networking sites are those sites where we can interact with our friends or colleagues or any other connection, any other people. We can connect with our social networking sites like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and blah blah. And under an informative website, a news website is something which is a perfect example, like the one we had for NDTV. So an NDTV site does gives us information as an informative website. If I talk about a business website, maybe a website of a particular business, let's say of Infosys company or of TCS or any other organization, even my website dmpatshala.com, that's again a business website, guys. And I'm soon gonna get that into a an e-commerce thing where I'm getting the payment gateway installed, so it will be a business website along with an e-commerce site. What do we understand by a personal website? Any idea? Have you guys seen personal websites? Your own website, absolutely. So let me showcase. So I have my own website where I have typed in things about my personal stuff. That is majorly a own website kind of an example. I have my own website by my name. I have written my overall profile, my skill sets, and my experience. What what do I do for a living? What are my strong points and all that? So I'm a Google AdWords website optimization, website traffic, my contact details, and all that. I hope pretty clear, pretty simple stuff, guys. I know since this is the very first session, I'm not getting into the techie part today. Just giving you an example of uh, very basic stuff. Personal websites already told you. So if someone who has a name, Himanshu has his own website, John has his own website. Informative sites, like I was giving you example of a news websites. There are many other informative sites like a blog or a question and answer site or a portal or a Wikipedia page or a directory or a forum. So let's take them one by one. Are you guys clear on the blogs? Do you guys know the difference in a blog and a website? Do you guys know what a blog is? Yes, says Dhruv. In case you don't know, you can feel free to say no. I can let you know in detail what do we understand by that. Not much. Okay. So Shifali, just to give you an example, in if I say 15 years back or 10 years back, uh, when internet was again not much of a in thing, people were not using it. Uh, do you recall we used to write? Most of us, I used to do that. Not sure about others. I used to write, a diary for myself, my personal diary, where I used to write in that, hey diary, I today did this, I did that, I met this person, that person. I used to write something about my own stuff. This was very much private. I could have shown it to other people and could have made it public. But nowadays, there are various blogs which I can own. You can try and test out, Shefali. You can try making one of your blog. Just giving you, I'm giving it to each and everyone. WordPress.org. Just go onto this particular site, create your own blog. You'll get to know. These are very much personal in nature. You can type in anything which you feel you want to talk about. Even blogger.com, absolutely right, Amber. So WordPress and Blogger are two important, two major blogging platforms. WordPress org or WordPress.com would rather be the right one. So yeah, you can go ahead with WordPress.com. With Blogger also, you can create your own blog. It's opening. So personal diary where we share our personal details. Yeah. So I'm just, you know, taking this as an example that if you convert that into a digital thing and you share it with everybody, then a blog is something like of that sort, where you're writing things of your own, and it's not a website. Okay, all my blogs have opened up. Uh, this is one of the blog which I created for Tank Samber. So this is okay. These are all. I wish I could have shown you. Yep. Uh, 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 uh. Okay. Okay. What I would do, I would request you to create your own blog specifically to Shifali and others in case you. Yeah, absolutely, Amber. I'll cover that. The link building part is going to be covered in this. And do create your own blog. It'll help you to understand the difference in a blog and a, what do you say, blog and a personal website or a website. Are you guys aware about directories? So we have directories like Just Dial, Sulekha, Yellow Pages. If you guys recall, all these were directories and they're still prevalent, and they're prevalent, what do you say, digital way as well. Earlier we had those, big books, big printed Yellow Pages kind of books, printed ones. Now they have been converted into a digital space, and these are all directories. Sulekha, Yellow Pages. Just to give you an example, just try opening these websites, you'll get to know. And then you have portals like you have shopping portals like Zobong, Flipkart, Snapdeal, this and that. Then you have certain forum sites. If you guys have been part of any forums where we just have discussions, one of the, if you guys have heard of Team BHP, Team BHP is one of the most renowned forum. What happens with the forum is that people come, participate, type in their stuff, and a lot of interaction happens. Forum is just like an open forum we have in a offline space where 15, 20, 30 people come in, just like we have a kitty party where all all the ladies come in, interact, and that's a sort of a forum which opens up. In a similar fashion, if you have a, let's like a group you have on a Facebook, that's also a sort of a forum only. So this is one of the most renowned forum which I can think of as of now. People go and type in their stuff, do a lot of interaction over there. So you have a forum part over here. So this is the way it looks like, guys. I even have a forum for my website. I'll just showcase that to you. So, you can see what people are writing in about the reviews, the car scene, the motorbikes. In case you guys want to participate in my forum also, I have implemented that on my website. You have certain questions, feel free to ask me questions over there. So it's like Google AdSense discussion forum, where some of my students have submitted their queries and we have answered them, right? And the person who has written things in the end, the last, is being mentioned. So, there were certain questions and we had written replies to them. Make sense, guys, the forums thing? So how are forums different to them? The portals, I think I don't need to cover that. Questions and answers. So you have question and answer sites like Yahoo question and answers. Have you guys used Yahoo Q&A? Yahoo questions? Or Quora? Absolutely. Quora is one of the biggest example. Quora.com. Not Quora. Yeah, it's Quora.com. Whenever you have any sort of a question, you can type in and people, uh, love to reply back to that. I want to ask a question, I can go ahead and do that. Try exploring that, guys. Quora.com, I mentioned that again, or you can also try using answers.yahoo.com. So if people are asking things like why do Indians, whatever it is, which is best, Mozilla Firefox or Google Chrome, right? So do explore these two. How about Wikipedia? Are you guys all aware about that? I think so. Wikipedia is a site which gives you a lot of information about lot many things, right? So I don't think that I don't need to go into that. It's a sort of an encyclopedia which gives you plenty of information about whatever you want. You guys can also sign up and create your account and submit details about whatever you want to, right? Cool. So forums, portals, wiki, question and answer, directories, blogs. Are we guys all clear on this? Small business website. Yes, Saitro. Thank you so much. Thanks, Shafali. So small business website and large business, as the word says, if it's a small business website, you'll probably have a 10, 15, 20, or a 100 or a 200 page website. But you have a large business, then definitely you'll go ahead and create those larger websites. So in e-commerce sites, I don't think I need to tell you about that. Something like Flipkart.com, social networking sites. Again, I don't think I need to tell you about these sites. These were the two major things which I wanted to cover in today. I'll send you across, guys, this particular, what do you say, course content sheet, a course content brochure. So we have covered the digital marketing overview and the website planning and creation. Uh, Now search engine optimization, which will have on-page, off-page, link building, everything is going to be part of that. Google AdWords. Google AdWords is also uh, Google AdWords is part of it, and where we'll also cover how to create search ads, how to create banner ads. We'll have practical sessions for that, and like I said, Google Analytics, social media marketing, email marketing, lead generation for business, create digital marketing strategy, and how do you make money as a freelancer. We'll be covering that part. Make sense, guys? Great, Amber. Good to know your website is ranking on third page. That's uh, that's an amazing thing to know. We'll take your website as an example, as a case study for search engine optimization. Since your website is there for quite long, we'll take your website. Oh my goodness, you've got the info links kind of things. A lot of AdSense. Okay, when I try closing it, you're getting paid for it, right? Click deals. Okay. Great. I'll look into it at a later stage. Guys, it's any questions or queries, feel free to ask me. We still have time. I don't want to start with a new topic today, which is Google advertisement, because if I'll start, we won't be able to cover it, the amount of thing which I want to cover today. Any questions, doubts? No, Dhruv, no problem. Right, Amber, I'll definitely look into your sites. Shefali says no. So we have 1 week to go. What we can do, no, so far, that's great. No problem. I'll be sending this across to you guys. And if in case you can do some kind of study, just try to understand what is SEO, just try to understand what is PPC advertising, and whatever things I've written it over here. Try reading that. Try just do a small Google search, and you'll get that in detail. I'll share the recorded session link with you so that in case you want to see that again, uh, please do that. And I know we are just ending the session today like half an hour early, but next time we'll have a much better session with Google advertising. We're going to start with. Uh, any closing comments? Anything? How was the session? If I can just ask you guys, was it informative, valuable? Yes or a no, or any suggestions? Yes, it was informative. Thanks, Dhruv. Yes, says Shifali. Thank you. So, yes, very much, says Amber. That's good to know. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Definitely, yes, says Aman. Thanks, guys. I really enjoyed having interaction with you as well. I'll be sending you across this PDF with the recorded session link, and we'll meet next Sunday, same time, 3 to 5. Right? Enjoy your rest of the Sunday. Till then, we'll meet next Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m. See you then. Take care. Bye.